First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who feed us in his truth non-stop. Salutations to the Akim out there, fellow laborers in the vineyard, building the house of David by Afdawada. This lesson, is going to, it's basically, it's a type of response, to the recent spirit that's been going around, the rebuke of HODC in their foolish doctrine, preaching that we need to go back to the Holy Land of Israel, which is not even holy right now, preaching that we need to go back to the land of Israel in order to be received by Yahweh or in order to receive spiritual power. And also has been highlighted in the spirit the last year when IUIC was interviewed by a Jamaican talk show host, Ian Boyne, and they said that Israel will not go through any type of persecution in the coming days before the deliverance from this present kingdom. So these are just two examples of other camps that teach contrary to what we teach. Right? There are other examples. For example, I believe it's still HODC that teaches that the mark of the beast is Christianity or false doctrines or sin. And there are other examples where they go off. In the scriptures, they don't teach according to what we teach, but yet you will always have some niggas who are protesting, that we should have unity among the camps, among the different Hebrew Israelite camps, that we should come together as one, but the scriptures don't speak according to that, right? There is no way that we can join ourselves onto a camp that teaches us that we need to go back to Israel in order to get delivered, or that teaches us that the mark of the beast is not the RFID microchip but is sin, or that teaches that there will be no tribulation when all these things are according to prophecy, right? So we only consort with men, who teach according to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, So before I get into the scriptures that I had lined up, let me just bring out, one other scripture. I believe it's Isaiah 8 and 20. Right? This is Isaiah 8 verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And what's the testimony? The testimony of Yahweh Shai is the word of prophecy, the spirit of prophecy. Right? So these men, if you realize the parts of the doctrine where they are going off is according to prophecy. Right? So these men don't understand prophecy like us men of GMS understand the prophecies, right? And this is the part of the doctrine where they mainly go off, the prophecy, right? That testimony, which is the spirit of Yahweh Shai. So these men don't have the testimony of the scriptures, because there is no light in them, right? So let's get into the scriptures. This is Romans chapter 16 and verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them, right? Let's look up that word mark, right? It's a word that we've always, brought out to the spirit, for edification's sake, right? Here we go. Let's just play it.
Strong's G 4648, scapeo. Scapeo.
Scapeo, right? And it means to look at, to observe, to contemplate, to mark, to fix one's eyes upon, and to direct one's attentions to take heed to thyself. So the scripture is basically telling us to take heed of these men, right? And what? And avoid them. Let's look up that word avoid, for those simple niggas out there, so we can just get the proper understanding, the full understanding, so people can't debate what the scripture is
Strong's
saying.
G 1578, eklino. Eklino.
Eklino, right? And it means to turn aside, to deviate from the right way or course, to turn oneself away, to turn oneself away from, to keep aloof from one's society, to shun one, right? So we should keep away from these men, and we should what? We should shun them, We should shun them, right? That's what the scripture is saying, mark them, as in pay attention to them, right? Note them, and what? And avoid them, shun them, stay out of their course, right? For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahweh Shai, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. For example, the IUIC and their new Passover commercial, that's good words and fair speeches. That's a beautifully edited video, right? So a nigga who's carnal, who's just looking at the surface, will be impressed by such things. Will be impressed by the IUIC Passover, because it's like a hip hop celebration get together, So it's a fun thing. So somebody who's simple and who's just looking on the surface, who's natural and not spiritual, will be deceived by that, So the scripture says, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. But through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we the men of James are not simple, right? We are instructed by our apostles, by the Spirit, to be wise, right? So it says, so the point is from the scripture that we should what? We should avoid them. We should mark them and avoid them, not group with them or join with them, Right? Let's continue to the next scripture. This is Titus chapter 1 verse 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouth must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake. One of them selves even a profit of their own, said the Cretians are always liars, evil, beasts, slow bellies. This witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. Right, so these men teach Jewish fables, meaning they teach heresy, things that are made up, like we need to go back to the land to be delivered. These are Jewish fables, men that have turned from the truth, right? So the scripture say what? Rebuke them sharply, right? Rebuke them. Don't consort with them. Don't say, all right, yeah, we're all Hebrew Israelite, let's unite and have some fun, drink some liquor and break some bread. No, scripture says rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, right? And another reason why we rebuke them is so that younger brothers looking on, or other interested brothers that are looking on, watching the videos, just coming up, will know what is truth from what is lie, so the Spirit can discern the truth from the lie, right? So it's our job, as scripture says, what? We are set for the defense of the gospel. And if you look up that word defense, it's from the Greek word apologia, which means a verbal defense. So we are set for the verbal defense of the gospel, It's part of our profession, In addition to going out there in the highways and the byways and teaching these prophecies, we should also defend the truth, right? Again, as the scripture said, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord will deliver you, and the Lord will protect you. All right, this is Ephesians chapter 5 verse 7. Be not therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness, but know ye are the light of the Lord. Walk as children of the light. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and having no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather what? But rather reprove them. For it is a shame to speak those things which are done of them in secret. Right? But all things that are approved are made manifest by the light, for whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Right? So we should reprove them. We should not partake with them or have fellowship with them. We should reprove them. This is what the scripture is repeating over and over. All right? Let's move on. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with dark, and what concord hath Christ or Yahushua Mashiach with Belial, or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel, and what agreement hath the temple of Yahweh with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power, and Yahweh hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they will be my people. Right? Wherefore come apart from them and be ye separate, saith the Lord. Touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and I will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord. Right? So we are separate from all these other groups, We are separate by way of the fact that we teach according to the law and to the testimony, which is the spirit of prophecy. All right? So the scripture says if we have agreement with them, if we consort with them, then the Lord won't dwell in us, Right? The Lord won't dwell in us. Exactly. So, finally, let's just bring out our final piece and wrap this up. This is Ecclesiasticus from the Apocrypha, chapter 13, let me start at verse 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to his kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the ungodly? What agreement hath there between the hyena and a dog, and what peace between the rich and the poor? And as the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eateth of the poor. So the point is at verse 17, as highlighted, what fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the ungodly? So we don't have any fellowship with these men, right? We don't believe in consorting with these men, right? Oh, it seems I have another precept. This is Amos chapter 3 verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Right? So the thing is, these men that opt for unity among the Hebrew Israelite camp speak so from a place of emotion, from a place of natural understanding and logic. We teach and make decision based upon precepts, based upon the law, based upon prophecy. It's not about your own opinion, right? Your own opinion is void and null when it comes to this truth, yo. If your own opinion contradicts what the scripture has said, yeah, it's a good thing for brothers to live in unity. The scripture said that. It's a good thing. Yeah, if we come together and we only deal on a natural level, of course we're gonna have a good time. We drink, we'll talk, and that's natural. We're Jake. We have a mellow spirit. But that's not what this time is about, yo. This time is about pushing the truth 100%, the unfiltered truth, yo. This time is about pushing these prophecies